That bright, steady point of light in the night sky, the one that doesn't flicker, doesn't wander, just sits there glowing quietly above the horizon. That's Jupiter, and it looks peaceful from here. It is not. Right now, as you look at that light, a storm the size of Earth is churning inside it. Lightning is striking at least 3 times per second. Each bolt more than 100 times more powerful than anything we have on this planet. A magnetic field is tearing charged particles to lethal speeds. 95 moons are locked in orbit around something that has been reshaping this solar system for 4.5 billion years. Jupiter looks peaceful from 600 million kilometers away. Up close, it is the most violent place in our solar system. And once you understand what it's actually doing to its moons, to its neighbors, to us, you will never look at that quiet light the same way again. Let's start with what we're actually looking at. Jupiter is so large that 1,300 Earths could fit inside it. Every other planet in the solar system combined accounts for less than 40% of its mass. It is, by an enormous margin, the dominant gravitational force out there, besides the Sun. We've been staring at Jupiter since Galileo pointed a handmade telescope at it in 1610. We've sent spacecraft to orbit it, fly through it, crash into it. Every time we get closer, we find something we didn't expect. Something louder, something more violent. That red scar across Jupiter's face, the one you can see through almost any telescope, is not a surface feature, not a marking, it's a storm. The Great Red Spot has been churning without pause for at least 350 years. It was raging before the Industrial Revolution, before the American Revolution, before anyone on Earth had a photograph of anything. Wind speeds inside it reach 680 kilometers per hour, more than 3 times the strength of the most powerful hurricane ever recorded on Earth. At its peak, it was 3 times the size of our entire planet. And here's what makes it stranger. It's shrinking. Scientists have watched it contract for decades and still don't fully understand why. A storm that has outlasted civilizations is quietly dying. And what's replacing it, what's happening beneath it, we still don't know. But the Great Red Spot is not even the main event. The entire planet is storms, winds encircling it in massive parallel belts, east and west in opposite directions. Jupiter doesn't have weather. Jupiter is weather. Now add the lightning. Every spacecraft that has ever flown past Jupiter has detected it, flashing on the night side like something firing in the dark. For a long time, scientists thought Jupiter's lightning was roughly comparable to Earth's. They were wrong. NASA sent the Juno spacecraft into Jupiter's orbit in 2016, built specifically to get closer to the planet than anything before it, and to measure what's actually happening inside those clouds. When scientists first began analyzing its lightning data in detail, they expected to find something recognizable. Bigger than Earth's, sure, the planet is enormous, but familiar. Comparable. What the data showed instead was something that took time to process. The bolts were more than 100 times more powerful than anything ever measured on Earth. A single strike releasing enough energy to power thousands of homes for an hour, and 3 of them hitting somewhere inside those storms every single second. The reason is the scale. On Earth, a severe thunderstorm reaches about 10 kilometers high. Jupiter's storms can reach 100. The atmosphere is so vast, so pressurized, that when energy finally breaks through to the upper layers, it releases forces with no comparison here. More pressure building before the strike, more violence when it arrives. There are storms on Jupiter that have been running for months, reshaping cloud structures across the planet, flickering constantly on the night side. And we only just began measuring their true power. And that's just the atmosphere. Because what Jupiter radiates outward, silently, invisibly, in every direction, would kill you long before you ever saw a cloud. Earth has a magnetic field. It's why compasses work, why we have auroras, why solar radiation doesn't strip our atmosphere away. It's invisible and essential. Jupiter's magnetic field is roughly 20 times stronger, but the total reach of that field, its magnetic moment, is around 20,000 times greater than Earth's. The magnetosphere it creates is the largest structure in the solar system. If you could see it from Earth with your naked eye, it would appear 5 times larger than the full moon in the sky, despite being nearly 1,700 times farther away. Inside that magnetosphere, charged particles are accelerated to near-lethal speeds. The radiation near Jupiter is so intense that an unshielded human would receive a fatal dose in under 10 minutes. The Juno probe, specifically hardened against radiation, has shown signs of degradation after repeated passes through the belts. That magnetosphere also reaches Jupiter's moons. It bombards them. It strips atoms from their surfaces. It feeds a ring of charged sulfur around the planet, ejected from the volcanoes of Io. A moon held in such violent gravitational grip that it erupts without pause, its surface only about 1 million years old, worn away and rebuilt continuously by eruptions that never stop. From a distance, all of this is invisible. Jupiter sits quietly in the dark. It is not quiet. For decades, scientists described Jupiter as Earth's cosmic shield. Its gravity is so overwhelming that comets and asteroids hit it between 2,000 and 8,000 times more often than they hit Earth. The debris of the solar system falls toward Jupiter the way water falls toward a drain. In 1994, we watched it happen in real time. Comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 broke into 21 fragments and slammed into Jupiter over 6 days. The largest impact scar was bigger than Earth itself. If that comet had reached us instead, it would have ended life on this planet as we know it. Jupiter caught it, swallowed it whole, left no trace. But here's where the shield becomes something else. Jupiter doesn't only pull things in, it also flings them outward. Its gravitational influence can nudge asteroids out of stable orbits and send them toward the inner solar system. The same force that caught Shoemaker-Levy 9 has, at other moments in history, aimed things at us, shield and weapon, depending on the geometry of a moment that Jupiter itself doesn't notice. It simply doesn't know we exist. But what it did, 4 billion years ago, before any of us were here to see it, changed the shape of this entire solar system, and we're still living inside the consequences. About 4 billion years ago, Jupiter didn't orbit where it does now. It migrated, moved inward toward the Sun, nearly reaching the position where Mars sits today. It swept through the inner solar system, scattering and depleting the material that Mars needed to grow. Mars should be larger. Planetary models consistently predict a planet the size of Earth or Venus in Mars's orbit. Instead, Mars is 1/10 of Earth's mass, a world that never got to finish forming because Jupiter starved it. Then Saturn caught up. Its orbit synced with Jupiter's, the way 2 pendulums swinging near each other can fall into the same rhythm, and that gravitational lock was enough to pull Jupiter back outward. One migration, then a reversal. The whole sequence is called the Grand Tack. The architecture of everything, our planets, their sizes, their positions, the asteroid belt sitting between Mars and Jupiter, was decided in that single journey. Jupiter didn't plan it. There was nothing to plan. It simply moved the way gravity moves things, and the solar system rearranged itself around it. And that same gravitational force didn't stop 4 billion years ago. It's still working today. Not on distant planets this time, but on the moons directly above Jupiter's clouds. And what it's doing there is something no one expected. Europa is one of Jupiter's 95 moons. From above, it looks almost featureless, a smooth, cracked shell of ice, drifting quietly in the dark. Beneath that ice, there is an ocean. Not a small one, a global ocean, deeper than any ocean on Earth, kept liquid by Jupiter's gravity, constantly flexing and heating the moon's interior. The same force that tears Io apart with volcanic eruptions is, on Europa, just gentle enough to warm an ocean instead. Everywhere we have found liquid water on Earth, hydrothermal vents kilometers down, Antarctic subglacial lakes, acidic craters, we have found life, every time, without exception. Whether anything swims in Europa's ocean, we genuinely don't know. NASA has already launched a spacecraft, Europa Clipper, that will arrive there in 2030. The question has become serious enough that it gets its own mission. Think about what that means. The most violent planet in our solar system, the one bombarding its moons with lethal radiation, is also the thing keeping Europa's ocean alive. Jupiter is simultaneously trying to sterilize that moon from the outside and warming it from within. Here's something that doesn't get said enough. To become a star, a ball of gas needs to reach a critical mass, the point where its own gravity crushes hydrogen atoms together hard enough to ignite nuclear fusion. Jupiter has exactly the right ingredients: hydrogen, helium, a dense and crushing core. What it's missing is weight. It would need to be about 80 times heavier than it is. That sounds like a lot. But in a universe where objects range from specks of dust to things larger than entire solar systems, it's close enough that astronomers sometimes argue about which category Jupiter actually belongs to. If it had crossed that threshold, nuclear fusion would have ignited at its core, a second sun, and the inner solar system, where Earth sits, would have been sterilized. No oceans, no atmosphere, no us. It didn't make it. And so, instead of a star, we got something stranger, something that sits in the dark and shapes worlds without knowing they exist. We exist, in part, because Jupiter fell short. The universe gave it almost everything it needed and held back just enough. That's not a small thing. The 350-year storm, lightning striking 3 times per second, a magnetic field that kills in minutes. Io held in constant eruption, Europa's ocean kept alive by the same force bombarding it from above. Mars starved before it could grow, all of it happening simultaneously. Right now, 600 million kilometers from where you're standing. Jupiter's gravitational pull doesn't stop at other planets. Over tens of millions of years, it nudges Earth's own orbit. There are serious models suggesting that on those timescales, Jupiter's influence can shift our path around the Sun enough to trigger planetary-scale climate changes, slowly, incrementally, without any single catastrophic moment. We are not independent of it. We never were. The Juno spacecraft is orbiting Jupiter at this moment. Every pass delivers something unexpected. The atmospheric jets reach thousands of kilometers deeper than models predicted. The core isn't solid, it's dissolving, diffuse, blurring into liquid metal at its center, hydrogen compressed so hard it conducts electricity like copper. The polar cyclones hold themselves in geometric formations, pentagons in the south, octagons in the north, stable for years, and nobody fully understands why they don't collapse. 4 centuries of observation, missions still in orbit, and we are still surprised. Constantly,